clearly need to end freedom of movement in its current form. It's probably the single biggest reason for the Brexit vote, and I think it's politically impossible to do anything other. Although we require new restrictions in certain areas, particularly in the area of work, people coming here in the future will have to have work permits. Those could be very light touch for more skilled workers and more restrictive for unskilled workers. But alongside that restriction, we could have a great deal of continuity and a great deal of continuing openness and closeness. People coming here to take up skilled professions, by which I mean people earning 30, 32 grand or more, should get, well, it should be a system rather similar to the current system with non-EU skilled workers. Essentially, we have a kind of employer-led work permit system. An employer will propose that somebody comes over, and the Home Office will agree to it or not agree to it. Something like that should continue, should be established for EU people in the future. But it should be much less bureaucratic and much cheaper than the current non-EU system, and I think that the Home Office should be able to rubber stamp these arrangements for skilled people within less than a month. One of the things I propose for lower skilled workers is that people should be given preference if they are happy to work antisocial hours, night shifts, weekends, evenings, and so on. I think a lot of British workers would see the sense of that. They would see that as complementary rather than competitive, and that it shouldn't be particularly controversial. It's a bit like, it's a sort of another version, you might say, the shortage occupation list. We deliberately select or give preference to people in certain occupational areas where we have shortages. Well, we may have shortages of people who are ready to do those kinds of shifts. All of this produces the kind of balance that I think a large part of the electorate have been looking for, which is that balance between ending free movement, controlling it, still letting in reasonably large flows of people into the City of London, into the professions where there's clearly a national benefit to be had, while being much more restrictive in the low skill area in the future, but in all other respects having a very high degree of continuity.